program should have been scrapped. The idea that you as a parent are unable to scrape together the $2 or $3 it would require to put a sandwich in the kid's lunchbox is paternalistic nonsense. It is not the state's responsibility to feed your children. It is your responsibility to feed your children.
Tell that to all the poor people.
Then tell that.
What about old people?
No.
Is it the state's responsibility to house and to give a pension to old people?
No.
I know.
What about those
disability
people? What about all those disabled people who can't get a job because they're missing limbs?
We are talking about parents' responsibility.
Yeah, don't change the topic and make a logical conclusion somewhere else, because that puts holes in my libertarian stance. So please just stick with lunches.
Feed their children, and the state is turning in.
Slope.
The state is turning in. That's terribly racist. The state is turning in and saying that we don't believe as a state that you as a parent have the ability to get the $2 or $3 it requires to put a sandwich in your.
But see, that's an ACT Party narrative. It's not. No,
it is not. It is not an ACT. It is not an ACT.
$3. It's more than that.
It is not an ACT Party narrative, because I am criticising the ACT Party for making the assumption that parents are so inept and incompetent that they cannot provide lunch for the children. I mean, do we have a situation? So at the moment, we have a cradle-to-grave welfare state. If you don't have a job, the government is going to give you money. And part of the reason that the government gives you money is to, at a minimum, feed your kids. And if you can't even do that, then that's, at some point, you've got to go down to the Salvation Army. It's not the job of the government.
I used to hold this view. I used to hold this view that I used to hold the same view as you until.
Show me where the state hurt you.
Until I went around the schools and I saw the complete inequity, and this guy's fancy lunch here and no one's lunch over here. So it was a standard practice. This is about feeding kids so they can learn. It's not their fault. Just deal with it.
There you go. So there's a slight change in the function of Duncan Garner. He used to believe the libertarian way, and now he thinks that we should just feed the children. You can give me 30 seconds now while I queue up the next one to make sure it doesn't stop.
Okay. So first of all, brace yourself. I'm going to give twice convicted fraudster Damien Grant a little bit of credit here for trying to hold his position that the state shouldn't help anybody.
Yeah, consistent.
He didn't want to continue down that path, because the natural end of that path is all libertarians are fucking monsters that will step over corpses in the street. It's a horrible worldview, and fuck him for having it.
Do you know what I thought about when I was watching this, about the libertarian things? I'd like to try and find a poor libertarian, because what he comes across as is people with choices, and people with choices are people of means. And I would struggle to think there'd be many beneficiaries or many low wage earners and stuff that would be libertarians, because libertarian is like the ultimate privilege, because to make choices and to look after yourself, like not to need a social welfare state, to look after yourself to whatever level you deem to be important, requires money. So that's my question. How many poor people are libertarians?
The thing about libertarians is they always think they're going to be the Lord and never the serf.
Yeah.
As much as they might point fun at communism and go, oh, it's never worked, it only works on paper. That's the same fucking thing for libertarianism. You were talking about Mad Max. Who has the most guns and the highest walls gets to live. You know, it's a foolish fallacy.
Yeah.
The other thing that I would say is, why is it the state's responsibility to feed children in schools? It's because children are citizens, and if they're fed well, they learn. And then we have an educated population for the benefit of someone like Damien Grant, to live in a society with educated people. That's the benefit.